Welcome back to the 2020 Toronto Blue Jays Sim. I'm JayBlue, and of Blue Jays from Away. Thanks for joining us, and we're glad to be back. We had some trouble with our save, but we managed to get things smoothed out thanks to the good folks at Out of the Park Developments. They really stepped up and gave us a hand to try to figure out what was going on with our save. So now we're back, and we've simmed to pass the All-Star game. And we've had a bit of a slide since returning from the All-Star break. We have lost 3 of our 4 games. We've simmed an extra day. Usually we're just simming Monday to Monday, but we simmed accidentally to the Tuesday. But that's 4 games since the All-Star break. One win, 3 losses. And we started with Matt Shoemaker. We lost 6-3. Shoemaker gave up 4 runs in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 3 home runs with 8 strikeouts. To take the loss, Anthony Bass gave up a couple runs, Ken Giles. And we lost Lourdes Gurriel here on defensive play. He is out for at least 3 weeks. So that's a little bit rough. We ended up bringing up Billy Mckinney to take his place. But we had a nice offensive game. We had a home run from Vladdy Guerrero Jr., who did not play in the All-Star game, but he was definitely on the squad. Our only win this week here is a 6-5 win over the Cleveland Indians. And here we had Bo Bichette with a big game. He had a 3-run home run in the 4th, 2 hits for him. The only home run of the game, 2 hits for Shaw, 2 hits for Mckinney. Most of the team got hits, and Mckinney was really hot down in Buffalo, hence our calling him up. Trent Thornton started. He did very poorly, but the bullpen was very strong. Sean Reed-Foley with 3 scoreless innings, and finished off with Jordan Romano getting the save. So really nice game here from all of our bullpen guys after Thornton let us down a little bit. We had a 10-inning loss here against the Indians. Again, we had a couple hits from Guerrero, 2 hits from Shaw, including his 20th home run, and a double. Grichuk with 3 hits and 3 RBI, including a double. So Grichuk, again, continuing a strong year, even though he is .232 batting average. He does have a .309 OBP, but that seems to be falling a little bit and sort of coming into his normal range, right around 300. Nate Pearson got the start. He was okay. He threw 5 innings, 3 runs. I don't know why they pulled him 83. Let me just check to see what his pitch limit is. Pitch limit is 100, so he probably could have gone another inning after 5. I don't know why they pulled him out. Shun Yamaguchi gave up 2 home runs, back to his old ways. Jordan Romano gave up a run, but he struck out 3, and Wilmer Font finished it up. Travis Shaw got the player of the game. And finally, we simmed on the Monday, and we lost 9-8 to the Boston Red Sox. So the offense was clicking here. 3 hits for Mckinney, so he's red hot since being called back up. Randall Grichuk with a home run. Travis Shaw with a home run. Grichuk with 2 hits. Derek Fisher 4 for 4. He's been slumping a lot lately, but he's sort of rebounded a little bit. Reese McGuire 1 for 4, and Danny Jansen came in and pinch hit. Our catchers have really slid off. So a lot of the guys who have really started off well have fallen off. Kevin Biggio had a good game, 1 for 3 with a walk, but he's still underproducing, and so I'm giving a lot of more time to Panic, and hopefully Santiago Espinal will get a shot to show what he's done. So that was the Blue Jays in this All-Star break week. Let's take a look at what the Buffalo Bisons were up to. The Buffalo Bisons played 4 games as well. They also had their All-Star break, although doesn't say anything on the schedule. They went 2-2 in those 4 days, but also they lost 1 on the Monday. That was our little sim extension. And so what happened? We had Patrick Kivlahan with a home run. In this one, Philippe Aumont gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. Not a bad start. Zach Jackson got hit a bit. Kirby Snead and Jake Petrichka. In the 7-3 win, we had Billy Mckinney, who had yet to be promoted. He had a nice game there, 2 for 3. Andy Burns hit a home run. 1 for 3 for him. Anthony Alford with a triple, and Alford is up to 209, so he's definitely turning things around for him. So that's nice to see for Alford, and he was considered when I was trying to figure out who to call up for Lourdes Gurriel. But, of course, Mckinney has been doing better both in the Major League system, and he was pretty much a monster in AAA. Until he was called up, he was 272, 345, and he had 11 home runs in 51 games. So that's pretty excellent. Thomas Pannone with a really strong start here in AAA. 1 hit, 1 walk, 5 1/3 innings, 6 strikeouts. Jackson McClelland hit hard. Kirby Snead, Connor Fisk again continuing his excellence this season. 4 strikeouts in 1 2/3 innings. 5-1 loss. Really just two hits, both from Caleb Joseph, who hit a solo home run. Jacob Wagaspak got hit fairly hard. Taylor Saucedo with a nice outing, and Hector Perez was solid. 6-0 win against the Syracuse Mets. 6-0, and we had 3 hits here from Mitch Walding, 3 hits from Jonathan Davis, Andy Burns with another home run, and James Dykstra with a solid start here. I'm not crazy about the walks and the strikeout ratios, but really nice start. Connor Fisk again, 3 scoreless innings. That guy, he needs a major league opportunity at some point, even just as a reward for his excellent work. And the last game against the Columbus Clippers, Alford 2 for 3 with a home run, and Jonathan Davis with a home run, 3 for 3 for him. On the mound, TJ Zoik hammered for 7 runs in 4 1/3 innings. And the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, they had their All-Star game and went 2-3 in the remaining 5 games of the sim. Very little going on here offensively. Remember, the only guy who's really doing well here is Alejandro Kirk. Joey Murray, a strong start, 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Outstanding for him, but it was Julian Fernandez. He was the guy that we picked up in that trade for Wade Davis. He got rocked a little bit. 11-10, the offense here must have been pretty good. Josh Palacios with a home run, 3 for 5, 5 RBI. Alejandro Kirk, 2 walks. Kevin Smith, 2 for 5. Brock Lundquist, 2 for 3. And Demi Ormaloy, he again has been struggling all year. He's got a really 193 average after the completion of the sim, and 4 for 5 hit for him with 2 doubles. Really nice game there. And Winkowski got hit hard. Just lasted 1 2/3 inning, giving up 5 runs, walking 5. That's pretty ugly there. John Harris gave up 3 more runs. Turner Larkins got the win, but he gave up 2 runs with 4 strikeouts. Sean Weimer with the save. 1-0 loss. The pitching staff turned around and threw a gem, but it wasn't enough as the offense went quiet. Patrick Murphy here with 6 innings, 1 run ball, 5 strikeouts. Jency Diaz, 4 strikeouts, 2 1/3, and Sean Weimer. We didn't take a look at the hitters, so Kevin Smith with a couple hits, Brock Lundquist a couple hits, Palacios walked a couple times. And 5-3 win against Portland. They're the Red Sox AA affiliate. We got a home run from Gabriel Guerrero. We had 3 walks and a 1-for-1 game from Ryan Noda. Kirk was 1 for 4 with a double. Kevin Smith hit a double. Okay, so not a great outing for the offense. Graham Spraker, solid game, and he picks up the win. Brad Wilson, Julian Fernandez turned it around. And then our final game was an 11-1 loss. 3 hits for Josh Palacios. Him and Kirk are the 2 top offensive producers for this team. And Sopko, solid start, but it was Fishman, Larkins, and Dillon giving up the runs. We go down to Dunedin now. And Dunedin had a regular week because their All-Star game was in June. So the first was a 12-11 win. 4 hits here from Gabby Moreno. He hit a home run. Cameron Eden hit a home run, went 1 for 5. Griffin Conine, 2 for 5 with 3 RBI. Nick Podkul, 3 for 5. Casey Clemens, 2 for 4. And Chris Beck, 2 for 5. Maverick Bufo, Sean Rakowski, Cree Finfrock, Marcus Reyes, and they only pitched a third of an inning each, and Josh Hyatt got the win. But Bufo and Rakowski really took the brunt of the damage. 5-2 loss to St. Lucie. Just 4 hits here. Chavez Young with the only extra base hit, a double. Justin Maesi, decent start. I mean, not decent, but okay. 8 strikeouts is nice to see. 5 innings for him. Maximo Castillo still hasn't figured things out. He was just sent back to Dunedin. 7-6 win over St. Lucie. Offensively, Otto Lopez with 4 hits here. Not bad for Lopez. He includes a double. Jake Brodt with a home run. He's having a strong season. 3 for 5, 3 RBI. Casey Clemens, 3 for 5, 2 RBI. He hit 2 doubles. Cameron Eden also hit a double, 1 for 5. And Chavez Young, 3 for 5. Really nice work for him. Juan DePaula got hit pretty hard. Castillo did okay. Nolan gave up a home run. Jackson Reese and Josh Hyatt finished it out. A 2-1 win. Let's take a look at the pitching here. Elvis Luciano with a really nice outing. 1 hit, 7 innings, and no walks and 7 strikeouts. Reyes, Finfrock, and Hyatt. Luciano, obviously player of the game after that performance. 2 hits for Chavez Young, 2 hits for Nick Podcool, Griffin Conine with a couple of RBI in this one. And Young stole a base, his 15th of the year. And a big loss here. Alek Manoah getting hammered for 7 runs in just 2/3 of an inning. He really has not taken to this assignment. Maximo Castillo gave up a run, Bushi a run, Rakowski with 3 runs, Jackson Reese for 2 runs in 3 innings. Not much here offensively. Chavez Young, Samad Taylor, Jesus Lopez. He was called up from the Lansing Lugnuts. So that's Jesus Lopez and Otto Lopez here. And 9-7 win against Charlotte. 3 for 4 here for Casey Clemens. He's had a great week so far. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get Player of the Week. In the Florida State League, he had 2 doubles. Samad Taylor with a double. Cameron Eden with 2 doubles. He was 3 for 4. Maverick Buffo, not a great start. Marcus Reyes, Alex Nolan, and Cree Finfrock. And finally, a 8-7 loss. 4 hits for Chris Beck. So that's a nice game for Beck. Moreno with 1 hit. Samad Taylor with a hit. Chavez Young with 2. Taylor had 2 hits. Cameron Eden another 2 hits. He's really taken to high A pretty well. He's actually hitting 354, 415, 646 in just 12 games. 3 home runs with 5 home runs in Lansing. So he's really coming along strong. Justin Maesi hit hard. Rakowski, Finfrock, everybody in the bullpen got into some action. We still have Simeon Woods Richardson is on the injured list, and Griffin Conine went on the injured list with a tender shoulder. So a little bit shorthanded for the Dunedin Blue Jays. Lansing Lugnuts. Again, a normal week for the Lugnuts. Their All-Star games back in June, and they won 1, 2, 3, 4 and lost 1, 2, 3. So against South Bend, they started off with a win, a 6-4 win. Tanner Morris with a big game here, 2 for 5 with a double. Yorman Rodriguez, 2 for 4. On the mound, Kyle Johnston came out early, and he was injured. Let's see what's going on with him. He seems to be okay now, so that's not too bad. Hobie Harris, Will McAffer, Kobe Johnson, Brody Rodning, and Parker Karachi finished it off. Peoria facing these are the teams in the West, Peoria and Cedar Rapids. Peoria 15-9 win, so that's a big game for the offense. Philip Clark 2 for 5 with a home run. Miguel Geraldo, his first home run in A-ball. McGregory Contreras hit a home run. Jordan Groshans with a nice 2 for 5 game. Yorman Rodriguez hit 2 home runs, going 3 for 4. So a big game for him. Tanner Kerwer 2 for 3 with 3 RBI and a walk. Hunter Steinmetz 3 for 6. Really, the only one was Jesus Navarro. And Donnie Sellers on the mound for the win. Fitzstadler got hit, and DeCesare got hit. Quinones 2/3 inning to finish it off. 7-4 loss now. The next game, Philip Clark 2 hits, so he's starting to bring up that batting average. Home run for Jordan Groshans, his 6th of the year, and Trevor Schwecke, DJ Neal, Tanner Kerwer with doubles. Juan Nunez, 4 runs in 3 innings. Nick Fraze, decent outing in relief. Brody Rodning, a couple runs. And Luke Gillingham with 2 scoreless to finish. 6-5 loss now. Tanner Morris, 2 for 4. Another 2 hits for LJ Talley. Yorman Rodriguez with a triple. 3 RBI with bases clearing triple. Eric Rivera hit a double there. And then Kloffenstein, another poor start. Him and Manoah, I think, are both the big disappointments this year for me, for the pitchers at least, and pitching prospects, with Kloffenstein really struggling here in Lansing, and that's just one level up from where he was last year. Even though Manoah skipped a level, he's been really struggling. 13-12 wins, so we got a lot of offense, but a really lousy game for our pitchers. And again, Philip Clark really bringing it. 4 for 4, 2 walks, 2 RBI. He had a double. Really nice game. LJ Talley with 3 hits. McGregory Contreras with 3 hits. Both of those guys had doubles. Tanner Morris, 2 for 4. Miguel Geraldo, 2 for 4. Hunter Steinmetz hit a triple. So really, really nice game here for the offense. But Kyle Johnson giving up 5 runs. Nick Fraser run. Everybody gave up runs. It was pretty ugly. I'm going to get rid of that because that is ugly. Here's another ugly game for the pitching. Let's take a look. Luke Gillingham with a spot start. Yeah, that's pretty ugly. Offensively, any good news? Tanner Morris, 3 for 5. Yorman Rodriguez, 3 for 3. Rodriguez really bringing it on lately. Rodriguez with a double, Talley with a double, Morris with 2 doubles. Jordan Grosjean's another 2 hits. That's great to see as well. And the last game, 10-9. The pitching, again, has been getting demolished here in Lansing. Sellers giving up a bunch. Fraze was okay. McAffer a bunch. Huffman 1/3 of an inning. Diaz a couple runs. But Hunter Steinmetz with a home run, 3 for 5, 5 RBI game for him. Philip Clark, 2 for 5. Eric Rivera, 2 for 5. Nice game overall. Yorman Rodriguez, 1 for 3, 2 runs, 2 RBI, a walk. And again, we've got some really good production here. Jordan Grosjean's went 0 for 3, but walked twice. So that's the Lansing Lugnuts. Vancouver Canadians. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, 3 losses against Salem Kaiser. John Solarte, 2 hits for him. He's been off to a great start, hitting .317. Home run for Francisco Ruiz. Home run for Scotty Bradley. Orelvis Martinez got a hit. So he's 1 for 4, but he struck out 3 times. Antonio Saldana struck out 8 in his 6 innings. And Blake Sanderson, decent outing with Felipe Castaneda with the save. 8-7 loss here. Patrick Morris, big game here. Home run and a triple, driving in 6 with a walk. Justin Ammons, 3 for 5. Leonardo Jimenez was fine. Orelvis Martinez, 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs. Orelvis hasn't taken off yet in Vancouver since his promotion. Pitching, not great here. McInvale solid to keep the team in the game. An 11-6 win here. More offense from the Vancouver Canadians. Ramos, and I'm just looking for Gonzalez. I think he might have been promoted to Lansing. And where is he? Nick Gonzalez. That's very strange, because he doesn't seem to be on the... He doesn't seem to be injured. But here he is on Vancouver. Okay, so he is on Vancouver. Anything up with him? No, he's normal, rested. Okay. Just didn't see him in the box score here. That's an 11-6 win. Oh, there he is. He's batting third, hitting 1 for 5. So he's not doing a ton that's super interesting, but he is still going strong. Here's Ramos, and I think he might have been away in the Futures game. That may be why he wasn't there. Orelvis Martinez, 1 for 4. Patrick Morris, another big game, 2 for 2 with a home run. Davis Schneider with a home run here. Leonardo Jimenez, John Solarte, big game offensively for the whole club here. Sam Ryan with the win, but 4 runs in 5 innings. Winder Garcia, Kyle Huckabee. I'm always going to say that. 2-1 loss here. Brandon Eisert, a really strong game. Naswell Paulino. Offensively, just 5 hits for the team. Morris Gonzalez. Davis Schneider hit a home run. Another low-scoring game, 3-2 loss here. Now we're at home, and Davis Schneider with a hit. Orelvis Martinez hit a double, 1 for 3. Nick Gonzalez, 1 for 4 with a double. Justin Ammons, 1 for 4 with a double and a walk. Joel Concepcion, 3 for 3 innings, 4 for 2/3. Andrew McInvale, another strong outing, striking out 4 in 1 2/3. William Gaston, 2 strikeouts in 1 2/3, and Felipe Castaneda. On to the wins. Back in the win column, Nick Gonzalez 1 for 3. But here we go. Orelvis Martinez breaking out with a home run. His first in Vancouver, 4 RBI, also hitting a single and taking a walk. Patrick Morris 2 for 3. Spencer Horwitz 2 for 4. And a 10-5 win finishes off this sim. Patrick Morris 4 for 5. Big games for him. Patrick Morris, another home run. Leonardo Jimenez with a home run here. Orelvis Martinez 1 for 3. Patrick Morris also hit a double. So big game here. And 3 for 5 for Adrian Ramos, who stole his 8th base. Blake Sanderson, 8 strikeouts but 4 runs allowed. Kyle Huckabee, Winder Garcia. That is the Vancouver Canadians. Down here to the Bluefield Blue Jays. 2-1 win in extras. We have Jose Rivas with 3 hits. Angel Camacho with 2 hits. That's about it. Home run for Rivas. Ian Bedell, one of our draftees, he has a 6-inning outing with a really nice work here. Nice outing. Sem Roberts with a nice outing. This is Jacob Smith, one of our draftees, and Connor Santala, another draftee. And fortunately, that injury at the bottom there was not ours. All right, we have Nick Neal here, 2 for 4. He was promoted after a really strong start in the Gulf Coast League. 2 for 4 here, and he hit 2 home runs, so that's 2 home runs for him. Josiah Miller, he's a new draftee. He hit a home run. He's going to go on a tear. That's his 3rd, but we can see here he's got 5. So Josiah Miller, he's going to go on a tear this week. And Ethan Smith, he got hit a little bit, and Zachary Murray, really 5 1/3 innings of relief. That's pretty outstanding. Here we have against Bristol. Down here, Glenn Santiago with a couple hits, Stuart Baroa with a couple hits, Josiah Miller not going crazy yet. Kendall Williams, a strong game. This is nice to see. He's been struggling a bit. Kendall Williams, 5 1/3, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. Alejandro Melean and Sem Roberts finished it. Melean got hit a little bit, but Roberts was pretty good. A 7-1 here against Bristol. 7-1 win here in Bristol. Nick Neal with a 2 for 3 game. 1 for 3 for Josiah Miller with a walk. Glenn Santiago, 3 for 3. He, again, started in the Gulf Coast League when we brought him up, and he has just gone bonkers, although he has calmed down a little bit. He's at 462 here in this game, but he is 370 batting average by the time we get to the end of the sim. Emmanuel Vizcaíno with a nice start here. Melean and Reuter Hernandez finishing things off. 12-2 win against Greenville, the Reds. Desan Brown here with a solid game, 2 for 6. Home runs here from Bobby Seymour, one of our draftees. Angel Camacho and Josiah Miller with 2 in this game. So Miller was 4 for 4, 3 RBI. Beautiful game. Bobby Seymour 3 for 4. Angel Camacho 2 for 5. And Glenn Santiago 3 for 5. Really nice game here. Matt Whalen, another draftee, 4 1/3. 5 walks is pretty ugly, but 8 strikeouts is nice. Nathaniel Perez, nice game. And Santos Moreno, also pretty solid here. And a 4-3 win against Greenville. And here are our guys here. Desan Brown, another couple hits. Another couple hits for Rivas. Couple hits for Neal. A couple hits for Jan Perez and Stuart Baroa. Lots of one double here and one home run for Glenn Santiago, his first of the season. It may actually be the first of his career. Yep, first of his professional career. Ian Bedell, another solid start, bringing his ERA down to 6.60. Sam Roberts, nice outing there. And yeah, bullpen, Connor Santala gave up a run, getting the save. And 8-4 win against Greenville. DeSan Brown, another 2 hits. Angel Camacho with a home run and 5 RBIs in a 3-hit game. Nick Neal, 2 for 4. Really nice game here for some of these guys like Camacho and Neal with a triple. Ethan Smith, another solid game for him. 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. And Zachary Murray, he must have been tired because he went 5 1/3 in his last outing. He gave up 2 runs in 2/3 innings. Okay, we go down to the Gulf Coast League. So, 1, 2, 3, 3 wins, 3 losses. And Jean-Christophe Masson started off, and here's Tommy Troy, 2 hits for him. 2 hits for Michael Arias coming in later in the game. He is really hot, 447 overall with a couple home runs. And then Gerardo Santana with a home run. Camden Minacci with 7 strong innings, 8 strikeouts. Really nice work there for Minacci. Alex Ayala, and this is Max Rychich. All right, we lost to the Yankees 7-6 in. That's not the Yankees, that's the Tigers. We lost to the Tigers. Thought it was the Yankees. We have here Lucas Cook with a nice game, 3 for 6. Michael Arias, 3 for 6 with, that looks like a home run. Yep, a home run for Michael Arias. Those are the 2 strongs, and Jag Burden with 4 hits in this one. And we have Liam Norris getting hit hard, Jack Sorrell LeBron, Anders Tolhurst, Alex Ayala, Rychich, and Bernal. Rychich taking the loss. And here against the Yankees East, 8-2 win. Cook with a couple hits, Michael Arias with 3 hits, and that includes another home run. And Adrian Montero with a home run, and Carson Wells is injured now, 2 for 4. He came out with that injury, I think, in this game. Carson Hamro with a solid start here, earning player of the game against the Yankees. And the Tigers West, Robbie Ashford with 3 hits, including a double and a home run. We have Cook here, Lucas Cook with a home run as well and a double. Juan Pizarro with a couple hits. Marcos De La Rosa, Brandon Fields, Robbie Ashford. So here we go. Ben Hernandez, one of our draft picks, not a great start. Hunter Owen, 1 earned run in 3 innings. And 12-7 loss against Philadelphia. Cook with another strong game with a triple, 2 for 4. Brandon Fields, 3 for 5 with a double. This is Gabriel Martinez with a couple RBI. And Drew Dowd gave up 6 runs, Tolhurst a couple, Bernal 4. Again, not a fantastic game here. And finally, well-pitched game here. Camden Minacci, 4 innings, 0 earned runs. Jack Sorrell LeBron got the win. Alex Ayala and Max Rychich. Those are the guys that we're seeing when we win games a lot more. Offensively, we had a double from Pizarro, 2 RBIs for him. Brandon Fields with 3 hits. And that was most of the damage for the team. And we're not going to look at everything with the DSL team again. We're just looking really at a few guys. So they had a decent week, sort of like a 3 and 5. So not a decent week. But the guys we're really looking at, of course, are... Why are we not? That's because it's AAA. So we're going to go Dominican Rookie League. Okay, so Riquelme de Castro is hot. He has 305. He's got a home run, 405 and 420. Esteban Machado is another guy that we're really looking at, 252, 367, 422. A little bit more pop than De Castro, but he's not getting on quite as much, although his walk rate is quite decent. 22 walks in 166 plate appearances. But they're striking out about the same, so we're seeing about the same thing. The other guy we're taking a look at here is Alfredo Chicon. He was our big free agent signing, international free agent signing. He is 16. He is hitting pretty well. 3 doubles, no home runs yet, but 396, 474, 458. So not a lot of power just yet. As you can see, his power is still pretty low, but he's 16 years old. So we're going to probably leave him here regardless of how he does with his average. We're going to leave him here for probably the whole season because he is so young. On the team here, we have a few guys hitting really well. Lucas Cook has a 110 OPS plus. He is, again, a new draftee. He was picked in the 27th round, but he seems to be taking really well. Michael Arias, also probably a lower draftee. He's I think a minor leaguer, just on a minor league contract, so he's probably a free agent signing. So, I think he was in the system before, so Michael Arias is off to a great start. He's just 18. He was in the system before the 2020 season. And who else is hitting well? Robbie Ashford, not a bad start for him. He's got a 106 OPS plus, 118 OPS plus for Pizarro, although he's not playing a ton. Trey Carter, also he's only got 4 at-bats. Brandon Fields is almost league average. On the mound, a lot of our new draftees, and mainly because the game, the AI selected a ton of high school talent, so we've got most of them here. Camden Minacci is sort of the biggest performer right now, a 14th round draft pick. He's got a 2.57 ERA. And Carson Hamrow, an 8th round draft pick, he is also doing pretty well since entering the pro ranks. Again, we got a ton of guys here. Max Rychich has been really solid. He's 18 and, again, a 13th round pick this year. Let's take a look at Bluefield. Ian Bedell, another of our draftees. He's had a couple of good starts lately. This 5-inning game and the 6-inning game. The 6-inning game was outstanding. But his strikeout rate is nice. We'd like to see the walk rate go down a little bit. He's 20, so he's coming out of, I think, a community college. And Ethan Smith is another guy. He's, I think, coming out of Vanderbilt, and he's got more college experience than a lot of these guys, so he's coming out with some good experience. He's a 5th round pick. Decent projection here. He's probably a fringe major leaguer if he fulfills that potential. Matt Whalen and Kendall Williams had a good start this week. Connor Santala is another new draftee. He was a 33rd round pick, and again, 21 years old, coming out of a college. And offensively, Jose Ferrer, solid start. Anthony Morales. Bobby Seymour, he's a new draftee, coming out of Wake Forest. And 305, 365. That's a nice slash line there. Camacho was selected last year. He's showing a ton of power. Again, I'm not sure if I have room for him in Vancouver right now, so there'd probably have to be something to move again. And Josiah Miller, he's 19, and he's having a really good start to his season and his pro career. Desan Brown, Canadian boy, and he's got 37 strikeouts. That's an awful lot. Not a ton of walks, but he has stolen 7 bases. He's a really raw guy. Tons of speed. They give him an 80 on his speed. But he's, his scouting report is that he's really raw. And here is Nick Neal. Nick Neal is just killing it. He started in the GCL, and then we've brought him up, and he's still continuing to just smash. And let's take a look at Vancouver, that infield situation. We've moved up Martinez. He's hit pretty solid since coming up to Vancouver. Davis Schneider has been excellent. we may move him up at some point. He may be the guy that sort of breaks the dam. Leonardo Jimenez, though, he's doing okay, so he's not going to be moving anywhere anytime soon. Nick Gonzalez, he's been a little slow since coming back from the Futures game. Pitching-wise, it has not been fantastic. Brandon Eisert has really been the best of the bunch, at least for our starting pitchers. In Lansing, these guys did really poorly pitching-wise this week. Adam Kloffenstein, I've already mentioned how disappointed I am in what he's done. Jordan Groshans has been showing some life, which is really nice to see. Miguel Geraldo, not bad since coming up. He's only been up a week now. Yorman Rodriguez was really strong this past week. McGregory Contreras. So that's pretty much. And Philip Clark had a really strong week. He's really getting his numbers up into sort of much more of what we would have expected from this guy. Up in Dunedin, our pitching was pretty ugly this week. But here we have a few guys who had really strong weeks. Casey Clemens had a big week, and Jake Brodt, again, is continuing to hit really well. Otto Lopez had a couple good games. Chavez Young is fairly solid. He's one of the few regular players with an OPS plus over 100. Cameron Eden is also really hitting strongly since coming up. And you can see here in the splits, this is the scope here is just for Class A when you see on the main screen, but when I bring up his little window, you can see where it's broken down between Lansing and Dunedin. On the pitching side, again, really poor pitching this week. Elvis Luciano has been the best of the bunch. Luciano's probably looking at another couple weeks before he goes back up to Double-A. Juan DePaul has been okay. That strikeout to walk ratio is really good, but the ERA is not the best. Justin Maesi has broken down a little bit this week, and Alek Manoah continues to disappoint at this level. Up in New Hampshire, Sopko is a little bit injured, but he'll be back to normal the next day. Joey Murray has been really strong when in a starter's role. I mean, look at 104 strikeouts in 86 innings. When he's been in the bullpen, he's kind of been awful, which is really interesting. Josh Winkowski has been not very good as a starter here in Double-A. We may move him to a relief role. I do like the starter potential for him, though. And again, I think he throws harder than 92 to 94 in real life. And Julian Fernandez is a guy we're watching. 17 strikeouts and 4 walks in 14 and a third innings. So that one poor outing, I think, is pretty much an outlier for him, especially since he came over from, I can't remember the team, I think Colorado. So Brock Lundquist is now hurt. We don't know exactly what it's going to be. He's been pretty solid all year. Josh Palacios had a strong week. Alejandro Kirk, again, so quietly solid. I mean, he's got a 2.9 WAR, 130 OPS plus, and we barely mentioned him this week. Again, he was, I think, in the Futures game, so I think he missed some time. And now we take a look at Buffalo. And in Buffalo, again, these are our guys in waiting. So, I mean, Zoik didn't really have a great game. The interesting thing with Buffalo is that there aren't so many prospects. There are guys that we can use at the major league level if we have to. Omont probably could, but that walk rate is pretty high. Pannone can probably come up and be okay, or if not, I mean, he was pretty bad when he was up earlier. Wagaspak has been up and has been okay. Zoik has been up and was not good. Connor Fisk, I think he deserves a chance. Danny Jimenez, since coming up, has been, since coming back, he's been okay since he's been in Buffalo, but he was really strong in New Hampshire. Like 20 strikeouts and 8 2/3 innings is just sick. But we have a couple guys here. I mean, again, the walk rate is far too high. Petrichka, he's pitched in the big leagues before. Saucedo's been very good, but Curtis Taylor has been a nice surprise. So he's probably one of the next guys to go up. But really not a lot of prospects here in the pitching. The guys that are sort of the prospecty are further below. And in terms of the lineup, we brought up Billy McKinney. Patrick Kivlahan has been strong, but again, that contact rating I think he's just going to get decimated when he goes to the major leagues with a 40 contact. Alford has been really pulling things up. He's got some improvement he can make, but I think that contact rating has hit the ceiling. Jonathan Davis, another 40 contact guy. Forrest Wall, he's got a little more he can get out of his contact, but he's not going up to the majors until he gets a little bit better numbers here. Andy Burns, he's probably the only option remaining in the minors. Him and Caleb Joseph are probably the two options remaining if I have to bring somebody up to the majors from AAA at this point. So AAA is not very deep. You can see by the Bison's record, 37 and 57. I may have to go into the free agent market just for some veteran minor leaguers to bring in. But again, this is still a developmental year. And, we've seen the Blue Jays stats. It's been a while, so I'll just refresh some memories. Travis Shaw is having a pretty decent season. Danny Jansen had a strong start, but he's fallen off quite a bit. Same thing with Rowdy Tellez, even though Rowdy still has better than league average numbers. Vladdy Guerrero is one of our best performers at a 145 OPS plus. He was an all-star, 22 home runs. Randall leads our team in home runs, and he's sort of falling back to what he's normally done with that batting average and OBP. 114, and I think part of it is the 24 home runs, 29 doubles. He's really hitting well. And after a stellar start, Derek Fisher is also slid back. He's still a bit above average, which is, to be honest, more than I had expected from him. But if it keeps sliding and he gets below that 100 level, we may have to look at doing something. Billy McKinney has also been good since he was called up, but Teoscar has not. Santiago Espinal has not been given much of an opportunity. Joe Panik has been very good when he's in the lineup, and Reese McGuire not very good offensively. Kevin Biggio is also a big disappointment, but we don't really have anyone since we traded Brendan Drury. We don't really have anybody to replace him with. Bo Bichette, I'll also say, had a slow start to the season, but he's up to a 117 OPS plus, and he is 17 home runs, 26 doubles, 93 strikeouts in 474 plate appearances. So that's not too bad at all. That's around 20%, which is quite solid. So that's the team, and on the pitching side. Just to refresh your memory, Anthony Kay, I think he's scheduled for our next start against Boston. He has been really strong, especially when he's been in the rotation. Nate Pearson, he got hit a little bit in his last start. Tanner Rourke has not been great. Matt Shoemaker has been hit and miss, but better lately. Trent Thornton has also been very hit and miss. And of course, if to refresh your memory, we do have Hyunjin Ryu on the disabled list. We have Ryan Borucki on the injured list. Borucki, I put him on the injured list. You can see he's healthy now, but he would come into a game, pitch an inning, and get injured, and be out for like 6 days, 7 days. So I just put him on the IL to get rid of that likelihood. Chase Anderson, he just had a setback, so he's probably not going to be great anytime soon. And one thing that you can finally see here is that we're asked to build a top 6 minor league system, and we were at about 4th or 5th, maybe 3rd before the All-Star break. I think what has happened is that our friend Nate Pearson has graduated from the top prospect list, and that's a big thing. I think it'll be here. Minor league system rankings. So we were here, yeah. So Pearson is 4th, but I think this list is old. Annual top system, so this is pretty old. What we have here is we have finally had Pearson graduate from the list, and we've dropped to 16th. Without sort of the points that he generates from being a top 5 prospect. So that's going to be this week. Thankfully, we're back up and running, and thanks for joining us. I'm JayBlue of Blue Jays From Away and the author of the 2020 Toronto Blue Jays Minor League Handbook, and you can find us at bluejaysfromaway.com. Thank you to Alex at Out of the Park Developments for helping us get back in shape and back running again, and thanks to GM Games for hosting us. Come on back soon and have a great day, everybody.